The evolution of the X-Men, from comics to film and beyond. 1. What is the origin story of the X-Men, and how did they come to be? The X-Men were created by writer Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby and first appeared in the X-Men #1 in September 1963. The X-Men are a group of mutants, people born with unique abilities that set them apart from the rest of humanity. The X-Men are led by Professor Charles Xavier, a mutant with the power of telepathy, who has created a school to teach young mutants how to use their powers for the betterment of humanity. The X-Men were created as a metaphor for the civil rights movement and other marginalized groups, exploring themes of prejudice, discrimination, and the struggle for equality. In the X-Men universe, mutants are often feared and hated by non-mutant humans, leading to conflict and tension between the two groups. The X-Men fight for mutant rights and strive to promote coexistence and understanding between mutants and humans. The X-Men have become one of the most popular and enduring franchises in comic book history, and their story continues to be retold and expanded upon in various forms of media, including comic books, films, television shows, and video games. 2. Who are some of the most iconic X-Men characters and what are their powers? There are many iconic characters in the X-Men universe, but here are some of the most well-known and their powers. 1. Professor Charles Xavier, Professor X. He is a telepathic mutant who can read minds and control the thoughts of others. 2. Magneto. He is a mutant with the power to control metal, generate and control magnetic fields. 3. Wolverine. He is a mutant with regenerative healing powers, animal-like senses, and adamantium claws. 4. Storm. She is a mutant with the power to control the weather, including the ability to summon lightning, hurricanes, and tornadoes. 5. Rogue. She is a mutant with the power to absorb the memories, abilities, and powers of other mutants just by touching them. 6. Cyclops. He is a mutant with the power to shoot beams of energy from his eyes, which he can control using special ruby quartz visor. 7. Jean Grey. She is a mutant with telepathic and telekinetic powers, and has the ability to read minds and move objects with her thoughts. 8. Nightcrawler. He is a mutant with the ability to teleport short distances, as well as having a prehensile tail and the ability to blend into shadows. These are just a few of the many iconic X-Men characters, each with their own unique powers and abilities. 3. How has the X-Men franchise evolved over the years, both in comic books and on the big screen? The X-Men franchise has evolved significantly over the years, both in comic books and on the big screen. In the comic books, the X-Men franchise has gone through several major changes and storylines, including the Dark Phoenix Saga, Days of Future Past, and Age of Apocalypse. These storylines have not only introduced new characters and expanded the X-Men universe, but have also explored complex themes such as prejudice, discrimination, and the consequences of unchecked power. On the big screen, the X-Men franchise has undergone significant changes as well. The first X-Men film was released in 2000 and was followed by several sequels and spin-offs, including the Wolverine trilogy and Deadpool. In recent years, the franchise has been relaunched with the films X-Men, First Class, X-Men, Days of Future Past, and X-Men, Apocalypse, which have introduced a new cast of actors and updated the look and feel of the X-Men universe. Overall, the X-Men franchise has evolved to reflect the changing times and cultural attitudes, while still staying true to its core themes and characters. Whether in comic books or on the big screen, the X-Men franchise continues to be a beloved and influential part of popular culture. Some text goes here. What is the significance of Professor X and Magneto's relationship, and how does it reflect larger societal issues? Some text goes here. Professor X and Magneto's relationship is one of the central elements of the X-Men franchise and is often seen as a metaphor for larger societal issues. Professor X and Magneto are two powerful mutants who have vastly different views on how mutants should interact with humanity. Professor X believes in peacefully coexisting with humans, while Magneto believes in fighting for mutants' rights and superiority over humans. Their relationship reflects larger societal issues such as prejudice, discrimination, and the struggle for equality and justice. Professor X represents a more liberal, inclusive approach, while Magneto represents a more militant, separatist approach. Through their relationship, the X-Men franchise explores questions about the limits of tolerance, the dangers of extremism, and the importance of finding common ground. These themes are especially relevant in today's world, where issues of race, gender, and sexual orientation continue to divide societies and communities. In this way, Professor X and Magneto's relationship has become an enduring and powerful symbol of the ongoing struggle for equality and justice, and serves as a reminder of the importance of finding common ground and working together towards a better future. 5. How have the X-Men dealt with prejudice and discrimination, both within their own group and from the outside world? Prejudice and discrimination are recurring themes in the X-Men franchise, and the X-Men have dealt with these issues in a number of ways, both within their own group and from the outside world. Within the X-Men, prejudice and discrimination often arise from differences in power, abilities, and cultural background. For example, mutants with more visible powers or those from different ethnic backgrounds may be treated differently from those who are seen as normal. The X-Men have responded to these issues by promoting unity and acceptance within their own group, and by working to counteract prejudice and discrimination from the outside world. They often serve as a metaphor for marginalized groups, such as people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, and those with disabilities, and their struggles highlight the importance of fighting against prejudice and discrimination in all forms. In their battles against prejudice and discrimination, the X-Men often find themselves at odds with various government agencies and anti-mutant organizations, who view mutants as a threat to humanity. The X-Men have responded to this by using their powers and abilities to protect mutants and advocate for their rights, while also promoting understanding and acceptance between mutants and non-mutants. Ultimately, the X-Men's struggle against prejudice and discrimination serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of working towards a world that is inclusive and accepting of all people, regardless of their differences. 6. What are some of the most memorable and impactful X-Men storylines, and what themes do they explore? There have been many memorable and impactful X-Men storylines over the years, each exploring a range of themes and issues. Here are a few of the most notable. Days of Future Past. This storyline explores the consequences of a dystopian future where mutants are hunted and persecuted. It explores themes of prejudice, discrimination, and the power of hope and change. The Dark Phoenix Saga. This storyline focuses on Jean Grey, who transforms into the powerful and dangerous Dark Phoenix. It explores themes of power, temptation, and the consequences of unchecked passion. Age of Apocalypse. This storyline presents an alternate reality where Apocalypse has taken over the world and the X-Men must work to restore the timeline. It explores themes of survival, sacrifice, and the importance of family. House of M. This storyline focuses on the reality-altering powers of Scarlet Witch, and explores themes of identity, power, and the dangers of wish fulfillment. Mutant Massacre. This storyline focuses on a brutal attack on the Morlocks, a group of mutants living underground. It explores themes of prejudice, discrimination, and the importance of standing up for others. These are just a few of the many memorable and impactful X-Men storylines, each of which has contributed to the rich tapestry of the X-Men franchise and its enduring popularity. Through these stories, the X-Men franchise has explored a range of complex and relevant themes, including prejudice, discrimination, power, identity, and the importance of working towards a better world. 7. How have the X-Men's powers and abilities been portrayed in different mediums, and what effects do these depictions have? The X-Men's powers and abilities have been portrayed in a variety of ways in different mediums, and these depictions have had a significant impact on how the characters are perceived and understood. In the comic books, the X-Men's powers and abilities are often depicted in an exaggerated and fantastical manner, with characters using their powers in elaborate and visually stunning ways. This allows the comic books to showcase the full range of the X-Men's abilities, and to explore the consequences of their powers in imaginative and thought-provoking ways. In films and television shows, the X-Men's powers and abilities are typically depicted in a more grounded and realistic manner, with a focus on special effects and action sequences. This allows the films and television shows to bring the X-Men to life in a more tangible way, and to showcase the power and impact of their abilities in exciting and visually impressive ways. In video games, the X-Men's powers and abilities are often depicted in an interactive and immersive manner, allowing players to control and use the characters' abilities for themselves. This creates a unique and engaging experience for fans, and allows them to explore the X-Men's powers and abilities in new and creative ways. Overall, the various depictions of the X-Men's powers and abilities in different mediums have had a significant impact on how the characters are perceived and understood. Whether in comic books, films, television shows, or video games, the X-Men's abilities have been depicted in a way that showcases their power and impact, and that appeals to fans of all ages.